If you're a service business owner and you're stuck in the busy to broke cycle, you know the one where you're busy 1 month and then dead for months afterwards. Your pipeline's empty, you've got no leads coming in, you've got no idea where your next sale's coming from. You're feeling tired, frustrated, and a little bit pissed off that all the effort that you're putting in every single week isn't converting into new clients. It's a position I've found myself in and one that a lot of service business owners find themselves in time and time again. And in all honesty, it's awful. You sat there getting paid peanuts, working with clients that you don't like, just to keep the cash flow coming in, and it's grinding you down and making you want to throw the towel in pretty quick. So I've put together 10 top tips that I wish I'd have known years ago when I first started my business that can help you to consistently and predictably fill your sales pipeline with high quality leads every single month and convert more of those leads into your next paying clients. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Dave and I help service-based business owners just like you to fill your sales pipeline each and every month consistently and predictably with high quality leads and to close more sales. I've been working in the area of web design and marketing for over 10 years now, so I've got a fair few ideas to share. So if you haven't done already, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below or hit the like button because it all really helps. So tip number 1 is get crystal clear on exactly who it is that you're wanting to target. Now, for a lot of service-based business owners starting out, what you'll tend to do is you'll try and market to everybody. But as the old saying goes, when you market to everybody, you market to nobody. Take some time to map out exactly what an ideal client would look like for you and your business. How old is this person? Whereabouts are they based? What sort of business are they in? Where do they hang out online? What are the main problems and obstacles that are getting in the way of what they want? What things do they value? What are their goals and aspirations in life? And what sort of attributes make someone a perfect fit client compared to somebody who's a really bad fit for you? Map out the personality traits. So how do they talk? How do they act? What sort of things they value? And paint a really clear picture in your mind so you know exactly who it is that you're looking to speak to. Now, once you've got 100% clarity on exactly who it is you want to target, the next tip is to clarify your marketing message. Now, imagine for a second you're stood on a busy marketplace and there's thousands of people out in front of you. You now know exactly who in that crowd you want to target. But the next thing that you need to really get clear on is exactly how you're going to speak out your message to that specific person and get them to listen and come to you. When you clarify your message and you make it all about the person you're wanting to talk to, it makes it far easier when you're shouting out into that crowd of people for that person, for their ears to prick up and for them to start listening. Your marketing message needs to clearly articulate exactly what that person wants, what the problem is that's standing in the way of getting what they want, position you as the guide in the story who can help them to get away from the problem and get the benefit that they're after, giving them the plan and calling them to a specific action that's going to help them get from where they are now to where they want to be, as well as painting a picture of exactly what success looks like when they work with you compared to how life will be if they decide not to. When you get that clarity over your marketing message, everything else becomes a million times easier and you'll start to be able to pick that exact person out of the crowd far easier. Buyers are only interested in what's in it for them, not what's in it for you. So flip the script and make everything about them in your marketing message and make it as clear as possible so it takes no time for them to understand what's in it for me. Tip number 3 might be quite a hard one for a lot of you to get your head around. It was for me when I first started. But nobody gives a shit about your business as much as you do. Everything that you do from this point forward needs to all be about them, the buyer, the exact person that you're wanting to target with your message. Instead of making it all about you and talking about me all the time, which nobody cares about, you need to talk about them. Start pulling from your clear message from tip number 2, talking about exactly what that person wants and what their problems are, rather than making it all about you and what your business is all about. You need to position yourself as the guide in the story rather than being the hero of the story. The only hero of this story is the person that you're trying to target, not your business. No one cares about how many years you've been in business or who you've worked with as much as what the benefit is that they can get by working with you. And make it all about them and stop making it all about you. So tip number 4, this is an important one and one that a lot of people get wrong, is to design your website to sell. People are seeing you turning up online on social media or seeing you in networking events and talking to you face to face. But what they're doing after that is they're going to go to your website and look for information that's going to help them move from just a casual browser into your next paying client. And the way that you do that is by making your website all about selling. In order to do that, you need to give the buyer as much information as possible at every step of the buyer journey to help them to answer the questions that they want answering in their own mind. What's in it for me? Are you the right person to help me transform from where I am now to where I want to be? How much is it going to cost? What are the things that are going to stand in the way? The potential problems that are going to stop us getting there? How does your process work? How can I take the next step and actually book a call and start talking to you and start getting to the benefit that I'm after? Your website needs to answer all of these important buyer questions without that person ever having to come to you to ask the question themselves. Your website needs to clearly guide that user from where they are now along the journey to find the answers that they're looking for and to ultimately book a call with you and become your next paying client. Make the information as simple as possible to find on your website. Create a learning hub section on your website that's searchable, categorized, and full of articles and guides that'll help that person to answer all of the possible questions that they have, and set the website up to direct them to one specific action, which for most of you will be to book a sales call. Now, for a lot of you, you're probably posting on social media trying to find clients that way through your content. So tip number 5 is focusing on making your content all specific to one person and one problem. Now, from tip number 1, you already know exactly who that specific person is that you're wanting to talk to. Tip number 2, you've already clarified exactly what the specific problem is that that person is experiencing. So from now on, base all of your content across social media and your website all focused on that one person and that one problem that they have, and showing that you are the guide in that story to help them solve that issue. What you want here with your content is for it to be boring and talk about this one thing over and over and over again. So every time you pop up on social media, people know exactly what it is that you're talking about. It might seem boring to you to be posting the same stuff over and over again. You can make this better by obviously spinning it in different angles and different ways, but still very much focused on one specific problem for that one specific person. But over time, as you consistently keep posting this type of content, people will ultimately understand that you're there to help that one person to solve that one very important problem. Which leads me on to tip number 6. Post consistently. You need to be posting the same message over and over and over again 3 to 5 times a week across LinkedIn or any other social media platform. This will help to keep you top of mind whenever somebody decides that their problem is big enough to solve. And if you're constantly there on social media with consistent posts about the same message, you're going to be top of mind when that person needs you. Find the time each week to create the content, batch content if you need to, and post it and schedule it so you don't have to keep doing it every single day, but just keep consistent. It's that consistency that over time will start to generate you more leads and ultimately more sales. Tip number 7, you need to be proactive with your marketing. Now, a lot of gurus online will tell you that you just need to post content and everything will come flooding in. But let me tell you from my experience, it doesn't work that way. LinkedIn is a fantastic platform and it enables you to connect with your exact person that you're wanting to speak to. You need to find time every single day to be connecting with new people who fit your ideal client persona. And when those people are connecting back with you, is to send them some sort of DM or some sort of message, pop up in their comments on their content, but make sure that you're consistently doing this and be proactive in terms of starting to generate those conversations. Over time, with enough consistency, people will come to you naturally on an inbound channel, but sitting there waiting for these people to come to you is going to lead you to that busy to broke cycle over and over again. So find the time to be proactive with what you're doing on LinkedIn. Now, across your social media and across your website, you want to be making sure that your call to action is consistent. So tip number 8 is to make your call to action consistent across all of your channels. Now, for a lot of you service business owners, your number 1 goal is to get people onto a booked call. Spell it out as clearly as possible for your target audience and tell them what the next action needs to be. In your featured section on LinkedIn, have a clear call to action that leads them to a booking form. And all across your website, your number 1 goal should be to convert that person into a booked sales call. Don't leave anyone second guessing or leave anything to chance. Tell people who are visiting your social media or your website that you want them to get booked onto a call. Which leads us on to tip number 9, make booking a call super simple. Now, if you're still relying on a generic contact form on your website, I would strongly advise that you change this out to some sort of booking system rather than just having a form that people need to fill in where you then have to get back to them and ask them, can they do this date, can they do this time, and backwards and forwards. Set it up so there's a form on your website that links directly to your calendar, that the person visiting your website can see a date and a time that suits them, that they can just fill in and book straight on for a call. Take away as much of the friction as possible in booking that sales call and you'll instantly start seeing more leads coming into your pipeline. And then finally, tip number 10, and this is the big one, keep going. I know how frustrating it is when your efforts don't seem to be paying off. You're probably getting sucked into the guru's next hack or the next quick fix. You're spinning your wheels and none of it seems to be paying off. And all you want to do is throw in the towel. But consistency over time is what will eventually start to help you to fill your sales pipeline every single month. Even on the days where you don't feel like doing it, just keep going because eventually the results will start to pay off.